And as soon as he went in there and stuck his finger in my anus, I remember yelling like like, because first of all, he went in fast, but second of all, I felt pain. What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back into another video. In today's video, I wanted to discuss my experience with the prostate exam. And the reason being, I feel like around a lot of us men, when it comes to issues with prostate and issues with, anywhere around our penis or that area, we're very shy. We're not comfortable talking about it, not even to doctors. And to me, I feel like that's an issue, right? Because, having weaknesses, especially around that area, doesn't make you any less of a man. It doesn't make you any less of a person, any less of a husband, any less of a son. It doesn't matter, right? I think your health should come above all of that. But I do understand, the physical, aspects and the games that your mind can play, because I've been there, right? But that's the reason I want to talk more about prostatitis and I guess the prostate exam itself. Maybe you can get something out of it. Maybe you have been suffering for a while and then, you're not sure if you want to go get it. But I want to share my experience. So maybe that can give you guys some courage. Maybe that can give you guys, maybe you can open up to your family member about your issues and you can actually end up going to the doctor and it can end up saving your life. And why do I say that? So personally, that was my reason as to why I want to talk about the prostate exam itself. Second of all, I want to talk about because the statement that I just made, right? It could possibly save your life. It could possibly save you a lot of trouble. And that's because when I went to the urologist in the doctor's office, there were two older gentlemen. I believe, probably grandparents at this point, to be honest, older gentlemen, white hair, very calm, very chill. And they started talking. They didn't know each other and they started talking about their issues with prostatitis. And in my mind, I'm like, man, if it could be that easy to talk about it. But I think at this point, they kind of understood the fact that, there's no point of being, shamed. There's no point of being fearful of what people think because you're suffering from something, There's no point of, not being aware of what's going on with your body, especially with your prostate. So I was listening to their conversation. I was just waiting in the waiting room for me to go through. And they started talking about something that stood out so much for me. And they were like, the fact that they said that this, as men, we should be more aware of, something that we need to bring more to light, something that we need to share more with our families and friends. And I heard one of them say that they kind of wish, they had those thoughts earlier because, again, as just mentioned, they both have been suffering from prostate cancer. So obviously when they went to the doctor, to the point they got there a little bit too late because the cancer was already there when they got diagnosed. Fortunately, though, they were talking about how much technology has changed and how a lot of the testings and, a lot of technology has developed to the point where all these testings and procedures had gotten much better. They looked like they were doing really good, to be honest. Of course, I didn't talk to them personally, but they looked like they had a really positive spirit about their situation, which is awesome to see in two men discussing the issue of their prostate. So because of those reasons, I was like, man, I want more people to hear this story, to get different perspective, right? Of what wisdom does to you, especially in those two older gentlemen, and what it did to me. And I wanted to bring that to light to you guys, for the reasons that I just spoke of. So, therefore, let's get into the actual prostate exam and how it went. And it's gonna be very quick, so hopefully you get something out of it. When I got diagnosed with prostatitis, it was about 2 years and some change ago, probably like 2.5 years ago. I went into the doctor's office not expecting, anything too crazy. I was suffering from lower back pain. I was suffering from abdominal pain. Every time I ejaculated, I started having episodes with my heart. So if you want to know more about that, all of my videos are literally in my YouTube channel. And I have a section just for prostatitis videos, right? So go check those out if you want to know more about my story. But I went in there, to be honest, without any expectations. And I don't know, the reason I went without expectations is because I felt like everything that I was having and suffering from was kind of not adding up to like my prostate and prostatitis. But then again, I wasn't really aware of exactly what the role of the prostate was and how it could affect everything that was going on. But when I started telling the doctor, by the way, shout out to Dr. Allen from Georgia Urology. He really cool, awesome, straightforward guy, and has taken care of me so far. So when I went in there, Dr. Allen told me, I started telling him, I started telling him what was going on with me. And he said it sounded, like it was actually something in my prostate. So the first thing he said was, all right, well, turn around, put your pants down, and I'm going to do a prostate exam. And in my mind, I'm like, wait, are you sure we're not supposed to make like another appointment for the prostate exam? But I didn't know how quick and fast a prostate exam is. It's really, really quick. So in seconds, I had to make a decision like, you know what, man, you've already been suffering enough, might as well let him check and, rule that out. If nothing's there, then rule it out. And then now, it's not a prostate issue. But it happened to be a prostate issue, right? So, when I was bent over the chair they usually, sit on whenever you go to the doctor's appointment, bent over, I remember the sound of his gloves, right? And the only thing it reminded me of, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Rush Hour, right? When the French guy is about to, check their booty hole, and that sound of the gloves, right? And I was like, oh, here we go. And then I know that he added some lube to his finger, some lubricant, before he went into my anus. And I'm telling you, the first time he went in there, first of all, I felt like, man, you went in too fast, right? It was too quick. But then again, like, what's the right speed for someone to go in there and check, Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. You got to be a team player and just ride with it. You know what I mean? So, he went in there, and as soon as he went in there and stuck his finger in my anus, I remember yelling like because first of all, he went in fast, but second of all, I felt pain. But the pain wasn't just coming from, him going into my anus. It was the fact that the area around there inside was inflamed, which at the time, obviously I didn't know. But then once he was inside, I remember him almost like doing like a tapping sound, like, asking me, does this hurt? Does this hurt? Does this hurt? And when he got to like the second, does this hurt? That hurt a lot, to the point where I yelled again, like I let out another scream because it actually hurt. But that pain, I felt it not just, back there, but also radiating to my bladder area. And I was like, holy crap, this is the same pain that I feel whenever I ejaculate, after I'm done ejaculating, and I have that pain and the discomfort left. And I was like, oh my God, like 1 and 1 was equaling 2, right? We were getting somewhere. And I was like, dude, obviously all of this is going through my mind when I'm in pain and like when I'm in discomfort. And he was like, does this hurt? Does this hurt? Does this hurt? And then he was checking around, does this hurt? And I was like, man, everything was hurting, bro. All the does this hurts were hurting, all of them. And I was just like, what are we doing? It got to the point though, to be honest, all that I'm telling you was a couple seconds. It took a couple seconds. He was in, he was out. I would say maybe 30 seconds to a minute. I would say probably more like a minute, to be honest. I don't remember anymore. Who's counting? You know what I mean? All I wanted to know was what was going on. And as soon as he came out, threw the glove away, and he said, yeah, you have an inflamed prostate. And I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, well, based on, because he also had checked the urine, or I believe maybe he told me to get the urine afterwards. I don't remember, but typically when I go, it's before. So I'd say it's before. He found, I guess, things that could have led him to believe that I had bacteria in my prostate. And he told me that my prostate was inflamed and that he was going to give me medication. The name of the medication is called, I don't know how to pronounce this right, Sulfamethoxazole, I believe it's called. I know I'm butchering it, but I'm going to have it in my comment section and type it for you guys. I think another word like it's Bactrim. They're in the same family tree, so they have a different name, but I think Bactrim is the correct word. But the one that I got on my little bottle said sulfamethoxazole. So after I believe 4 days of being on that medication, I tested it out to see if my issues were getting better, right? So I masturbated, and at the beginning I felt the same issues like the first couple seconds after I ejaculated, but a couple time some short time after, the issues didn't feel the same. I was like, they're not coming up, I guess, fully. You know what I mean? They're not being as bad as they once were. So I was like, oh my God, it's working. So after like a week or 10 days afterwards, man, I felt back to normal, believe it or not. And I feel like it's one of the biggest miracles that I felt in my life. And such a huge blessing for me to be able to start healing from bacterial prostatitis. But that in itself was how quick and simple a prostate exam is. So for the men out there that are thinking whether I should get one, I'm shy, I'm nervous, I don't know, this and that, listen, just go get one. Don't be like the two older gentlemen there and have some type of regret because it was too late for you. And I want to say too late because they still seem pretty good, but at least to the point where like you could avoid maybe even being diagnosed with prostate cancer or any further issues, right? Because it is a possibility. I don't mean to scare you or anything, but it is. And remind yourself again that you have a family, you have friends that love you, you have people like me that you're just reminding you that you're not alone. I've been through it. I consider myself being young. I am 29 years old at the time I was making this video. So, don't be ashamed of yourself. Don't be ashamed of going to a doctor and letting him check you because it is important, right? And for your health. And don't forget that, again, there's people like this community, like myself, that want to bring more awareness, that are with you, that are together with you. We're one. I know exactly what it feels like, and a lot of us men know exactly what it feels like. So I just want to bring more awareness to that. And that and all was basically how fast a prostate exam is. I know I talked a decent amount, but I just wanted to get very detailed with you guys so you guys can know exactly what to expect and kill a lot of those anxieties that you might feel and those discomforts. You know what I mean? And if you have any questions or concerns on it, man, don't forget to comment on the YouTube. Also soon at the beginning of 2023, I'm starting a podcast with a friend, Alyssa, who has also been suffering for a very, very long time with a lot of health issues. And I'm excited to bring more awareness into a lot of illnesses in life and just kind of share our stories and our testimonies of our lives and how much we have dealt with issues. She has been suffering for over 10 years with issues. I'm going into my decade of suffering. So be on the lookout for that. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share them, show some love. Remember that this is a safe community. A lot of us here are all of us are here are very open and just share a lot of love with each other. So join the community. Don't be afraid to share your story. It's much appreciated. And thank you guys for watching. As always, guys, I did this with a good heart, with good intention. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. And hopefully you gained some courage to go out there and just keep spreading awareness, whether it's, not just your prostate issues, but could be mental illness, any other illness that you're suffering from. Don't be afraid to be able to share that with the world. because you can change and affect somebody's life for the positive. So as always, guys, it's your boy Carlos. Take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless you guys. And I'm always praying for you guys in the YouTube channel, my YouTube community. So see you guys in the next one. Peace and love, baby.